Today's JJ Redick podcast is brought to you by Belvedere Vodka. Produced in one of the world's longest-running distilleries, Belvedere Vodka is the world's finest all-natural vodka. Crafted by a collective of master distillers, Belvedere is made with non-GMO Polish rye, pure water, and no additives. Recognized for quality, Belvedere was named the ISC World Vodka Producer of the Year in 2015, 2016, and 2017. Enjoy a delicious cocktail with Belvedere Vodka today, and remember to always drink responsibly. Welcome to this week's episode of the JJ Redick podcast. This week, I am joined by Charlotte Hornets superstar Kemba Walker. Kemba is someone I've been trying to get on the pod for several months now. I'm a huge fan of his. He's someone who's gotten better every year. I think he goes about things the right way. He's a winner. He's a competitor. He's an unbelievable player. I'm a huge fan. Let's get right to my conversation with Kemba Walker. You came back for like 2 weeks, basically, right?
What you mean?
Into New York.
Yeah.
But you live in Charlotte.
I live in Charlotte.
Yeah. So you don't have a place in New York.
Nah.
Your family is here?
My family's in Charlotte.
You moved your family to Charlotte?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
The whole family.
Because this week, you did the NBPA camp, and of course the New York media asked you about playing at home.
Yeah.
And I thought your responses were great, but like this notion of like playing at home.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of guys don't want to do it. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think it's just hard coming back home, man. New York is New York.
Yeah.
I'm from here. And, I'm just very comfortable in Charlotte. That's why I gave those guys those answers. Charlotte was the first team to give me my opportunity out of college. And during the draft, I had no idea where I was going. So it's like they ask me questions about New York all the time, but I'm like, I don't know. I've been on one team my whole entire career so far, and I'll be a free agent next season. So we'll see.
You have to realize for the next basically 9 to 10 months, this is going to be the line of questioning. Yeah. Every time you come through New York, every time you go to a team that is going to have cap space and is going to need a point guard next summer. Yeah. Are you prepared for that?
I'm very prepared. I'm very prepared. I've been getting asked all summer, especially about the Knicks. Like that's been like the number one team that everyone has asked me about. But yeah, I'm prepared to answer all questions. I'm not worried about it at all. Around
the trade deadline, your name was in some trade rumors. Mm-hmm. I don't remember the whole timeline, but I think you ended up meeting with MJ at one point.
Yeah, he just gave me a call. Yeah.
Okay, he called you. Okay, all right. And now this summer, you sort of professed this loyalty to Charlotte. Publicly, You're not going to come on my podcast and say anything different. I wouldn't expect you to. But as you've seen this summer, this notion of player loyalty, it gets thrown out.
Yeah.
So in the back of your mind, like I understand what you're saying publicly, but there's got to be a part of you that is basically like I've got to do what's best for me.
Yeah. I think at some point it's going to come down to that. It's going to come down to me making the best decision for me and my family. But at this, in particular, moment, at this time, Charlotte's that's where I want to be. Like I said, it's the team that gave me my first opportunity. I just want to give back, to the community, to the organization, just like I've done, but I want to continue to do it. And, I just want to help that organization just become successful. And I think I can. You could count in your hand how many times we've been to the playoffs. Like it just... we really haven't been successful. And I want to be one of the guys to help that organization like really become successful. I want to be in the playoffs every single year. And that's a huge part of why I really don't want to leave. I want to help the city. I want to be a part of something big in Charlotte just because, we really haven't done anything. We've had great teams in the past, a long time ago with Alonzo and stuff like that. And then, we had a few good teams, but it just hasn't been consistent. And, I just want to be a part of something special.
Yeah. What's up, bud? I love you too.
Nice.
That was my 4-year-old Knox just came in the conference room to tell me he loves me.
Nice.
I paid him in M&Ms earlier to come do that. I've said this before on my podcast. Like every guy in the league, not every guy, but a lot of guys, like we get labeled as like a winner, as like a loser.
Yeah.
And I really feel like it just might not make sense, but like you can be a winner yourself. Like you could be a winner, but be on a bad team.
Yeah.
Be a loser. And vice versa. You could be a loser and just as luck would have it, end up on a good team.
Yeah.
And I think I've always considered you as a winner. I have to ask you though. So your last year in college, you guys win a national championship.
Yeah.
And then your rookie year, you're percentage-wise on the worst team in NBA history. Yeah. 7-59. It was a lockout year. You played in every game that year. How did you manage that rookie season?
Man.
Mentally?
It was rough. Honestly, it was really rough. But, for the most part, like you said, I always consider myself a winner. Like, always consider myself a winner. That was such a crazy experience. We lost so many games. I think we lost I think we had like 2 streaks. One streak was like an 18-game losing streak, and then we ended the season with like a 23-game. Something crazy, man. It was unbelievable. But as far as my mental standpoint, I just wanted to get better. Like, I really didn't care. Like, my whole goal was to show people that I could play at a high level. And I just wanted to get better. That's it. I just always stayed in the gym, made sure I was getting my work in. The older guys, they were great to me. Like, guys like Sagana Job. DJ Augustine was on that team. He was amazing for me that year. I've learned a lot from him. Like, during my basketball career now, the way I play now, a lot of my stuff is from DJ Augustine. So he's helped me so much when I was a rookie. Gerald Henderson, another guy who I flocked to. As soon as I got there, we became like super close friends. I was even in his wedding. So just guys like that who show me the ropes. They show me how to work. They show me how to stay in the gym working, regardless of how things are going. And I think that's why I am the kind of guy I am today, man. Those having vets like that, and that's why it's great to have older guys on the team because you learn from guys, and those guys help me. They help me so much.
It almost sounds like at some point your rookie year, you like had like a mentality switch of like we're not gonna win games, so I'm gonna take a long-term approach here and just try to learn from the old heads and try to get better.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was. I mean,
but don't you think if you're like you're competitive?
Yeah.
Like my last year in Orlando, we were not going to make the playoffs. I made the playoffs every year of my career, but it was only because I got traded in Milwaukee. Okay, we were not going to make the playoffs, and that first 2 months of that season, I was like angry all the time.
Oh,
it was so hard to deal with. And at some point, like in late December, early January, I just had a switch. Like, all right, like I've got to change my mentality. There's got to be another form of winning.
Yeah.
I'm using quotes here, but like winning other than like wins and losses in a box score.
That's exactly what it is. You have to change your mindset. And it didn't happen like fast. It didn't happen fast at all. It took me a while to think like that. And that's because, like I said, because of my vets. I'm so competitive. I want to win so bad. I had days where like I went home and I cried. Like, honestly, it was so bad. Like I said, I'm just so competitive. And me and my cousin, we're really close. So he's a guy who I kind of talk to all the time, and he was the one who helped me get through that year. My parents, of course, but him, my cousin Keto, he's the one who I speak to about things all the time. So he kind of helped me get through that year. He was the one who kind of told me just get my work in, just get better and, see what I can do the following year. Even though that year wasn't great as well. So it's been a few years where I had to kind of take that approach.
So I guess then like you had a few frustrating seasons. Cliff comes in, who I played for.
Yeah.
I talked about this last week with Mo Bamba. I played for him in Orlando. Cliff comes in. You guys make the playoffs. Do you remember that first playoff game, that feeling of how different that was compared to what you had just experienced the prior few seasons?
Yeah, it was so unbelievable. Like the atmosphere. We played in Miami, and it was against LeBron and Chris Bosh and D Wade. We had no chance. But
I remember that series being competitive. Though. You guys got swept, right?
Yeah, we got swept, but it was super competitive. Like we battled. Big Al was hurt. He hurt his foot that year. And he was, NBA All-13 that year. He was killing. He was killing it. And we needed him. And he got hurt. That hurt us so bad. But like you said, like I said, we competed so hard that we didn't even care that we got swept. We were so happy to be in the playoffs. We were so happy to be playing against those guys, getting some televised games. No, we're never on TV and stuff like that. So we were super excited. And it was super competitive. And that's all we really cared about. As long as we went out there and we know that we left it all on the court, I think we were really excited about that, especially because that was my first time in the playoffs.
Like, I guess compare the feeling that you've had between an NCAA tournament game or like the Big East tournament at the Garden versus an NBA playoff game.
Oh, man.
Similar? Different? The playoffs, to me, I know it sounds silly to say this because the NCAA tournament is one and done.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I just feel like an NBA playoff game is more intense. I don't know. I may be wrong in that. I also didn't win a national championship, though.
You know what? It is. I just think only because, we're pros. You know what I mean? Just, we're a lot older and we just know what it takes, especially when we're in the playoffs. Like, we know, like, you got to bring a certain type of game, certain type of effort to that playoff series. And in college, it's just not so many good players on one team. You know what I mean? So, I think we just know. I do think the NBA playoffs is definitely more intense, though. It's like, it's unbelievable. That's when the crowd gets the best. I mean, but college crowds are like,
I still feel like at the college level, there's wasted possessions in big time games.
Yes.
Whereas in the NBA, like every possession just is such a grind.
Yeah.
Every possession.
Yeah, because we got the 24 shot clock. Yeah. In college, we had 35, so we ran about 5 different plays within that 35 seconds.
Oh, I remember the 2008 championship game.
Oh, yeah, it was bad.
that was tough to watch.
Yeah, it was, but everybody says that to me. Everybody, like, man, that championship game was the worst game I ever seen. I'm like, I don't care. We won. That's all that counts. Yeah. I got my ring. I'm good. Yeah.
Best college program of the last 30 years.
The last 30?
Yeah.
I mean, of course I'm going to say UConn. I mean, of course you're going to think Duke. But, we have Kentucky who's, I can't really say they've been the best, but they've been getting all the top players. You know what I mean? They send guys out to the NBA every single year, about 3 to 5 guys every year. But I'm definitely going to say us. I mean, what we got, you said since the 80s, we got 4 championships since then.
You have 4?
4.
Oh, we have 5.
You got 5? Oh. Yeah. That's what you said since the
80s. Well, since 91. I mean, we're going to go 27 years. I just wanted to go to a round number. If we're including 1991, it's whatever. We just basically won every 5 years.
Did we beat y'all in one? Yeah, right?
My darkest moment, my darkest moment as a basketball player was losing to UConn my sophomore year in the Final Four.
Who was on that team? Was that
Rudy? Meck, Rashad Anderson, Ben Gordon.
Guys,
Josh Boone, who's been in the facility here all summer. Yep. So I've rehashed some moments of that game with him. It's been shitty. One of the things I love about being a fan of the game is seeing guys improve. And I want to ask you about your shooting improvement.
Yeah.
Because your numbers, your first, I think 3 or 4 seasons, your field goal percentage was lower in the high 30s. And then in the last 3 or 4 seasons, they've taken this huge leap.
Yeah.
What do you attribute that to?
Just being in the gym. I mean, like consistently just working. I worked with, we hired a shooting coach. His name is Bruce. And Bruce has a difficult last name, so I'm not going to get to his last name. He's going to kill me for that. But he's helped me like tremendously. Brought him in and Coach Cliff told me, he's like, you're going to work with Bruce and he's going to help you with the shot. So the first day me and Bruce worked together, he changed my shot. He moved it over to the right and the whole summer, like just shooting the same shot every time. That's all we did. It was so boring. I'm like, I do not want to do this. I need to work on my game. Like then, my shot wasn't really dropping like I wanted to, especially early in that season. I think, what was that? That was like 2015, I believe. The first year I worked with him. And I told one of my coaches who I was working with, his name is Steve Hetz. I'm like, Coach Hetz, I don't want to do this new form anymore. Like, I can't do it because I'm not making shots. And I told Cliff as well, and they both like, just stick with it, man. Like, just please, 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 just stay. I'm like, man, I've been shooting this way for 24 years. I don't really care about shooting percentages. I don't know what that is. Like, when the game's close, give me the ball. I'm going to try to make the shot. Like, I don't know what shooting percentages is, but, being in this league, that's what it's all about. It's all about percentages, numbers, efficiency, being consistent. And I had to learn that. And I think we played a game early at Miami, and I hit like maybe 3 or 4 threes, something like that. And I think from that game on, man, I was just like, damn, like this feels so good. Like being able to shoot, like guys going under, I'm like stepping behind the screen, I'm knocking down the 3 ball, and I'm like, damn, like it's always the kind of player like I envision myself being. And I never in a million years thought I really would get to the level that I got to. But it just makes things so much easier for me. I'm able to use my speed more. I'm able to slow down and, just shoot. It just takes so much pressure off myself, my teammates. And it just helped my game evolve to like a whole nother level.
So the building block, the essential building block was just a tweak in your form.
Yeah.
But as you've gotten older, as you've matured in this league, I think a lot of it, especially if you're on a bad team early on, I'm going to attribute your shooting percentage to being on a bad team early on. I'll tell you why. Because I feel like when you first come in the league, and this was the way for me too, you're like trying shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes time to figure out like, what is a good shot for you in this league? Like my 3rd year in the NBA, I shot 39% from the field and 37% from 3.
Yeah.
Like I would barf if I had those percentages now. It would be really, and I feel like even now, like I probably take tougher shots, but it's the repetition, of course, but also sort of figuring out like, okay, if I come off at this speed or at this angle and I have it in my right hand versus my left hand, like I can make this shot, I can't make this shot, so let's get back. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean by that?
No, for sure.
It's sort of like, it's like Kobe always used to say, like, I'm gonna get to my spots and I'm gonna make my shot. Like you figure out sort of where your spots are.
Yeah, that's very true, because when I first got into the league, I mean, like you said, that's what I was doing. I feel like I was just trying stuff. Like, but the thing about it was really hard for me. I would get my shots off, but it's like, the guys, like the defenders, were always right there. So, it's like the margin of error is so small in our league. And that's kind of what I had to learn. I had to learn how to get my shot off faster. I had to learn how to create more space. So it's just so many things that you have to learn as a young player. And like for the most part, you got to learn how to put the ball in the basket consistently. And like I said, that's the name of the game. And Bruce, it's pretty unbelievable the way he helped me.
We're going to take a quick break from Kemba and hear from our sponsors. All right, no matter what you do in the bathroom to get ready, Dollar Shave Club has everything you need to look, feel, and smell your best. They have amazing shower stuff, hairstyling products, toothbrushes and toothpaste, and of course, razors and shave supplies. Recently, I tried the Amber and Lavender Body Wash, and I have to say, lavender is one of my favorite scents, and my skin felt soft. I smelled good. Chelsea even commented to me, "You don't smell like eucalyptus right now. You smell like lavender." Everyone has their own way to get ready. You might shave your whole body to get ready for a bike race or do your hair to get ready for your soccer match. No matter what you do to get ready, Dollar Shave Club has everything you need. Right now, you can get ready with an amazing deal on any one of their starter sets. I recommend the Daily Essentials Starter Set because I love the Amber Lavender Body Cleanser, but you can't go wrong with any of them. Head over to dollarshaveclub.com/Redick to pick your own DSC starter set for just $5. After your starter set, products ship at regular price. And make sure you check out their new video too. That's dollarshaveclub.com/Redick, dollarshaveclub.com/REDICK. And now back to my conversation with Charlotte Hornets star Kemba Walker. You and I have been, for the last week, working out at opposite ends of the court here at the NBPA facility in New York. And I don't know if you're spying on me, but I spy on you. And I've noticed you've started sort of every workout with these finishing drills where you're shooting with 2 balls.
Yeah.
You'll do a move, like a dribble move with 2 balls, and you'll jump and you'll shoot like a lefty with one ball and a righty with the other and try to make them simultaneously. Is that something new? And I want to ask you about just like sort of how difficult it is, because like I'm bigger than you, but I'm also like I have a negative wingspan. And how difficult it is for smaller players in this league to finish like at the rim. I think it's one of the biggest challenges we face.
Yeah, that's been one of my problems over the years. It's been my percentages at the rim. So Yeah, the finishing stuff I've been doing with Jay, that's new.
Okay.
Me and Jay Hernandez, we've worked together since I first got in the league, since I was 21. We worked together for pre-draft. And now he's back with me in the Hornets, with the Hornets, and we're working, and he's giving me these crazy drills. And yeah, here goes this drill with the layup drill. You got two basketballs in your hand, and you got to lay it up with the left. And then while you're in the air, you still got to finish with the right. It's unbelievable, but he makes it every time. Like Jay makes it every time, and I struggle every time. But it's just something where it's just reaction. In the air, those big guys come out of nowhere, so you gotta react and be able to stay in the air sometimes and finish the basketball. But as far as finishing, yes, I'm a smaller point guard, so I really had to learn, how to use my body. How to use angles, how to use different parts of the backboard. Sometimes not even be able to use the backboard. Yeah.
I think bigs too, like the way verticality is taught now.
Oh man,
everybody's so good at it. Where like 8 to 10 years ago, there was maybe like 5 bigs that did it right, and now like everybody knows how to do that.
Yeah.
And so you're going up against 6'9", 6'10" players who are just jumping straight up in the air, and you've got to figure some way. How's your float game? Like, where would you rate your float game?
Oh man,
because like we all aspire to get to Tony Parker, Kyrie level.
Yeah.
Like, where would you rate your float game?
Not up there. Not up there. I wish it was better, and that's something I'm really working on. That I've been really working on this summer is kind of my in between game.
Yeah.
Not trying to get to the basket every time. Just stop in the middle, land that thing, just go up and fly. I mean, my floater has definitely gotten better, but definitely trying to get to that Tony Parker level, who's on my team now, who I'm gonna be just killing to help me get that that floater. Mike Conley, who's another,
that's a good one.
Great, especially with his right hand. It's like pretty unbelievable. Yeah, and Kai, I mean, some of the best right there. So yeah, I'm trying to get to their level for sure with those floaters.
I feel like it's that 3 to 9 foot shot.
Yeah, man.
It's just so difficult.
It's tough.
Because especially for you, so if you come off a pick and roll, I don't run as many pick and rolls as you, but if you come off a pick and roll and you're defender, and a lot of times you're getting guarded by sort of the primary wing stopper from the other team.
Yeah, for the most
So
part.
those guys are going to be in that 6'6" to 6'8" range. You're coming off a pick and roll. The big is probably in a drop, sort of inviting you to come to the rim. You get downhill in that sort of 3 to 9 foot area with the defender on your back. But again, bigger guy.
Yep.
That's to me, it's
tough.
like that's that floater, or even just like a little step back going right. Like those are the shots that
all those little
if I could,
Steve Nash, like, and I've been watching him so much this summer. I even go back to the arena at night and like do the Steve Nash 20-minute drill. Like that's been my thing like all summer. So I go back and I'm in the gym. I'm just doing like a bunch of floaters, little 1-footed runners, just trying to get those in between shots. I mean, I think it's going to help me so much. I think it's going to help my body. Just take a lot of pressure off me. So yeah, I think it's a really, really important shot for guards like me and just smaller guards in general.
Your numbers the last 3 years, they jump out of the page. Like they really they're standout numbers. I mean, 20 plus points, 5 plus assists, 3 to 4 rebounds, great shooting percentages. You've been an efficient player. You've been an all-star twice. I think the last 2 years, right?
2 years,
last 2 years, you've been an all-star twice. You've been in the playoffs twice, right?
Been in the playoffs twice, both against Miami, yeah.
So I'm doing research on you and I'm like, there's just not a lot of stuff on you. And I don't mean that to like diss you. And then I go on your Instagram account and you've got 1 million followers, which seems like a lot to me.
Yeah, to me too.
It seems like a lot.
I have no idea.
But I still feel like people always ask me like, who are the most underrated guys in the NBA? And I'm always like, Kemba Walker.
Yeah.
Like I think Kemba is amazing. And do you feel that? Do you feel like you're underrated?
Sometimes I do.
In what measurement?
I just feel like when names are being called out, sometimes mine just isn't called, and I feel like it should be. I mean, but not really. I wouldn't say it should be because, like I said earlier, it's all about winning.
Yeah,
it's all about winning, and unfortunately, just haven't been winning over the years, and I think that's why I get overlooked, and that's why people consider me to be underrated, and people don't see me. In college, we put on ESPN every game for the most part, and CBS and stuff like that. But now we got one televised game a year. You know what I mean? So it's like,
well, you raise a valid point. Then, do you feel like if you were in a bigger market, and this is not to dish, I love Charlotte. Charlotte's North Carolina. My family lives in North Carolina. I love North Carolina. But if you were in a bigger market, do you feel like you would have more attention? Like
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
So you're going to the Knicks.
I do think if I was in a bigger market, I would have more attention. But you know what?
Do you want that attention?
No.
Is it important to you?
It's not important to me at all.
It doesn't seem like
less.
Exactly. It doesn't even seem like it is.
I could care less. Like you said, I got 1 million followers on Instagram, and honestly, I have no idea how. I barely post.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going through your posts like 7 days ago, 3 weeks ago, 9 years ago. Like, no, I'm exaggerating. But
yeah, man, I don't know. It's just not really my thing. It's not really my thing. I'm just a really private guy. I like my privacy. I love my privacy. And as the guys that we are and the lifestyle we live, privacy is really hard to come by. So, as much as I can, I try to be low key. Yeah, that's just kind of person I am.
Okay. I'm going to ask you a personal question, and you can answer however you want.
For sure.
But if I'm you and I'm feeling slighted at all, part of it is the contract that you've been on the last 4 years.
Yeah.
So it is human nature. For the last 2 or 3 off seasons, you've been an all-star. You've been on a bargain contract that you signed after your 3rd year, your rookie extension, right? But in the back of your mind, are you a little bitter about timing, about the timing of everything?
No, I'm not bitter at all. I mean,
maybe bitter is not the right word.
No, I know what you mean though. I was excited. I mean, at the time I was excited. I mean, right now I think I'm in a good situation. I mean, what? 48 million. I mean,
it's a lot of money. No, I'm not saying that. It's just
I know
there's
exactly
there's some guys that made public comments. Some guys at your position, they made public comments about certain guys' paychecks, and it's just interesting. Like we as players, like we've sort of gauged everything off the summer of 2015, 2016. And I'm hoping next summer there's sort of a return to normalcy of just like guys getting paid their market value, because you saw these big jumps in 15, particularly in 16, of course. And then there has been a pullback the last 2 years.
Yeah.
It's just an interesting.
Yeah, it is. No, it is. But like I said, when I first got that contract, man, I was so excited, and I was going to take less, honestly. I was like, man, you know where I'm from? Like, I'm told my agent, like, come on, Jeff, just tell those guys, let's work something out. I'll take whatever. But he's like, it's no way. He's like, you got to get what you deserve. And I mean, he got me 12. At the time, I'm like,
well, so at the time,
it's great.
What class were you in?
I came in 2011.
11. Yeah. So who was like the point guards that
Kyrie,
summer?
Kyrie, Brandon Knight.
Okay.
Yeah. That class. I mean, I think Clay. I mean, Clay, we all know Clay is.
Yeah.
But all those guys in our class, Kawhi, all those guys in our class,
Going back to this underrated idea, I think you're underrated. But it's also like, it's one of those things that your position is so it's so deep.
Stacked.
It's so good. So much of, I think, where people put the upper echelons of point guards sort of falls into 2 places: winning and then sort of longevity.
Yeah.
Somebody like Chris Paul, who hasn't won a champion. He's another guy, right?
Yep.
Chris is a winner who's never won a championship. He's a winner. I mean, he's a champion, but never won. Like the longevity that he's had. So as you kind of are going through the season and you've got your matchups, who are your 2 or 3 best point guards in the NBA?
Oh, man. I'm going to have to go Steph, Russ, and Kai. Man, I mean, Steph he's unbelievable. We don't know what kind of player he is. He doesn't stop moving. You never know when he's going to shoot. You got to guard the shot. You got to guard the drive. He can do it all. He can score from anywhere on the basketball court as soon as he steps over half court. So, he's a really tough guard. Kai, of course, he's another guy who can score from literally anywhere on the basketball court. Has a million moves. I mean, last season when I played against him, he hit me with, I don't even know what it was, bro. Like, I was like, Kai, what did you just do? He hit me with something, man. Like, I played great defense, but he hit me like a post move at the elbow, like 15 fakes. It was unbelievable, and made the shot, and I was right there in his face. But that just goes to show, like, the talent that kid has. He's an unbelievable talent. And Russ, of course, he's 6'4". I mean, as a point guard, is just tough to guard.
Do you guard him, or does Nick guard him?
I guard him sometimes. I guard him a little bit, but over the last couple of years, MKG has been guarding him.
Okay.
Which is great for us because I'd rather not.
I mean, the personnel around you, you've got to be happy about that because I mean, MKG and Nick are two of the best wing guys. Yeah. And they can sort of guard multiple positions. It's a luxury to have.
Yeah, no, it's
a luxury to have for sure.
A luxury, especially MKG, man. Like, man, I've over the years, I've definitely been very fortunate to have that kid. That's like my little brother right there. And the defensive task that he has to take on every night. I mean, it's like, you got LeBron tonight. You got Kawhi tonight. Oh my goodness. Then you got Russ tonight. It's not even his position, but you got to guard him, you know what I mean? Right. So, yeah, very, very, very fortunate to have that kid right there, definitely.
All right, when people talk about best handles in the NBA, Kyrie always gets brought up.
Yeah, no question.
I'll throw Steph in there.
Yeah.
I'll throw Jamal Crawford in there.
Oh, no question. Yeah.
And then I'll throw you and CP in there. I think that's the top 5. Am I missing anyone? Am I leaving anyone out?
Guys put James in there. James Harden.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see James in there.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think that's pretty good. I mean, you could put John in there maybe. John Wall.
Have you naturally always had such a low center of gravity when you're driving, coming off pick and rolls? That's always how you played. That's not something that was taught to you. You just played that way since you were young.
Yeah, that's just something that's always been pretty natural to me. Yeah.
I think it's hard to guard that. Like when I think about, so like CJ's another guy. He's got a great handle. CJ McCollum has a great handle.
Yeah.
Like CJ's, to me, I've guarded him a ton. He's not the fastest. He's not the quickest, but he's so low.
Yeah.
So when he puts the ball between his legs or around his back or crosses over, it's like that next step, he just creates so much space.
Yes.
And I just can't play that low.
Yeah. Yeah, you
not the way my body's built.
Yeah, CJ can handle that thing too. So yeah, he's not that fast, but he's shifty. And he just has all the moves. He has all the fakes. He has everything, man.
He's got game.
Yeah, he got game. CJ has a lot of game, yeah.
And it's funny, we just talked about like our you just mentioned your top point guards. And, you left out CP. You made argument him. James is kind of a point guard, but we'll call him a 2.
Yeah.
Damian Lillard, like John Wall. Like we could just go down the list and it's all these guys that are just superstars.
That's why it's like sometimes you can't even really, it's so hard to name guys.
But the reality is, you could say you are, I'm going to throw out, this is a negative number, but you're the 10th best point guard in the NBA.
Yeah.
Right? You might be 6, you might be 3. Let's just say you're the 10th.
Yeah.
But you're also like one of the top 30 players in the NBA. Yeah. That's how deep the position is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's great. It's great.
All right, last question I have for you. I asked Mo Bamba about this last week on my podcast, and he's not even really like a true New York City kid because he went away for high school. But when he got drafted, he was the highest draft pick of a New York City kid since you, and the highest overall, I think he was 6th since Lamar in 99.
Oh, wow.
Which I think Lamar was the 4th pick in the draft. What do you attribute the decline of the New York City prep star to?
I actually was just talking about this. I have no idea. And it's just not the same anymore. Like when I was coming out of high school, I went to Rice High School in Harlem, and the Catholic School League was like one of the best in the country. Like we had guys, St. Raymond's is a high school from New York, Christ the King, Holy Cross, Severian. I mean, that's just to name a few. But all those schools were really good. Like we had all the top players from New York that went to all the different schools and all the different boroughs, and we competed. And it's not that anymore. Like I always hit.
Is it just a cycle of talent? Like the cycle of talent is gone, or are kids just leaving?
I don't know. I think I'm so far removed.
Yeah.
And I don't really know a lot of the kids, and that, like I said, that's something I've been talking about. Like I need to come back. And
what's the AAU program? Do you know the AAU? Are you familiar with the AAU program? See, I like when we were growing up, they had the Gauchos,
Riverside, and that was New Heights and stuff like that.
And I remember my senior year in high school, we played Christ the King. They were nationally ranked.
Yeah, Christ the King always good every year.
I got benched the whole second half of that game.
Who they have?
For pouting. I'm not even sure. They beat us by like 35.
Really?
I can't even remember who they had.
Was it Omar Cook?
Omar was like a year ahead of me.
He's a year ahead of you? Okay.
Yeah. Omar Cook, but he was he was a star.
Yeah, he was really good.
But yeah, it's just I'm just curious, like you when we were growing up, New York City was like the hoops, everybody called it the hoops Mecca. Right. And the Garden is still the Garden. I don't think the Garden has lost any luster. It doesn't matter what the Knicks do. The Garden is the Garden.
Yeah, that'll never change.
But there's something like you can't make that argument that like New York City is a hoops hotbed for youth basketball.
Can't make it anymore.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and it's sad. It's sad because, like you said, it's the Mecca, and usually we always have guys always got a few guys in the league. I mean, we still do, but I feel like we just don't have it. We don't have enough, and we need more. Like I'm getting older. We just got Mo, so Mo's gonna hold it down for us. I mean, he's definitely a true New Yorker. We loved it. We love that kid, and we're definitely proud of him. I mean, I know his brother as well. I know his brothers and stuff. So yeah, I'm really excited for Mo, especially because I play with Cliff too. So I know what he's gonna get every night. So yeah, Mo gonna hold it down for us for sure.
All right, Kemba, thank you for coming in on a Sunday morning in your off season on your vacation in New York City.
No problem.
You're a good sport for this. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. No problem. Thanks for having me.
All right, that's it for this week's episode of the JJ Redick podcast. As always, thank you for listening. If you have any questions or comments, please hit me up on Twitter at JJ Redick. Until next time, thank you and talk to you soon. Everyone has their own way to get ready, and no matter what you do, Dollar Shave Club has everything you need to look, feel, and smell your best. Right now, you can get ready with an amazing deal on any one of their starter sets. Head over to dollarshaveclub.com/Redick to pick your own DSC starter set for just $5. After your starter set, products ship at regular price. That's dollarshaveclub.com/Redick, Redick.